Taylor Swift is allegedly turning her upcoming wedding into a heavily calculated corporate rollout. The internet is losing its collective mind over what appears to be a massive public relations smokescreen. Every major tabloid is currently dropping conflicting blueprints of her supposed marriage to Travis Kelce. We are seeing everything from weaponized media leaks to highly specific guest list purges. Reddit is already calling the entire situation an unhinged marketing circus. Some users are even speculating that the ceremony is just a high-visibility branding exercise for an upcoming album. Her team is reportedly forcing guests to sign strict non-disclosure agreements while feeding paparazzi false leads. Are we looking at a genuine union or a masterclass in media manipulation? Let us look at the actual receipts. Now let us look at how this entire media circus actually kicked off. The initial speculation pointed straight toward her massive estate in Rhode Island. Rumors spread on TikTok that Taylor allegedly paid an actual bride to move her wedding date. The targeted date was rumored to be June 13th. The venue officially denied the payout happened, but that did not stop Swifties from physically swarming Ocean House looking for receipts. They literally stood outside the property, hoping to catch a glimpse of an unannounced ceremony. Obviously, no vows were exchanged that weekend. So the internet immediately pivoted to an even more unhinged theory. Suddenly, mainstream outlets started reporting a massive July 4th weekend event, but the alleged venue choice had everyone completely confused. TMZ started doubling down that Taylor was planning something wedding-related at Madison Square Garden. This is an arena that holds over 20,000 people. The internet consensus was immediate confusion. It makes zero sense for a private celebrity wedding. But the tabloid press refused to drop the story. They kept insisting that a major event was locked in for early July. Then the narrative shifted again with a brand new leak. New reports claim Madison Square Garden is actually just the venue for an afterparty. The real ceremony is rumored to be happening at a completely different secret location. Several supposed guests allegedly spilled this information directly to journalists. They claim the actual ceremony guest list is incredibly tiny. Meanwhile, the arena party supposedly has over 1,000 invites. It looks like people who got snubbed from the real wedding are already getting bitter. They are actively leaking details to the press to ruin the surprise. But anyway, Taylor decided to give the paparazzi an absolute heart attack last Friday. Reports started circulating that her childhood best friend Abigail arrived in Rhode Island. Paparazzi spotted her walking right outside Taylor's property. At the exact same time, a massive white tent went up at Ocean House. The local venue confirmed they were hosting a private wedding that weekend. The internet immediately assumed the main event was finally happening. Everyone expected a massive media explosion by Saturday morning, but the visual evidence told a completely different story. The massive tent was pitched right out in the open. It was entirely exposed to drone photographers and random onlookers. There is no world where a pop star of her level hosts an unshielded backyard wedding. The entire setup looked entirely too sloppy for her team. Twitter users immediately called it out as a blatant distraction. They figured it was either a random rich person's wedding or a calculated test run. By Saturday afternoon, the entire energy around the estate completely changed. TMZ reported that security presence at the mansion was actively decreasing. Multiple tinted SUVs were seen speeding away from the property. Local sources claimed Taylor had already left the state entirely. The media immediately assumed the gathering was completely over. But then things got weird again. Late that night, neighbors spotted massive fireworks shooting off right near her house. The local community forums went completely wild. If she left Rhode Island, who was actually setting off explosives in her backyard? Fans on Reddit immediately started arguing that it was a secret bachelorette party. Others claimed it was just another calculated stunt to keep the press guessing. The level of confusion was bordering on absolute chaos. Now let us talk about the absolute bloodbath happening with the guest list. The rumors surrounding who is allowed in the room are getting ridiculous. Reports emerged that Karlie Kloss was somehow extended an invitation. Anyone who follows pop culture knows they have not spoken in literally years. That leak smelled like pure fanfiction from the start. But the reports about who got aggressively cut seem way more realistic. Miles Teller and his wife Kelly are reportedly entirely off the list. Pop culture accounts have been whispering about a massive falling out between Kelly and Taylor. This leak basically solidifies that they are no longer in the inner circle. It is a very clear pattern. If you are no longer useful to the current brand narrative, you lose your seat. But the most shocking update involves a very public rekindling. Page 6 published a report claiming Taylor officially extended an olive branch to Blake Lively. The two former best friends have allegedly been speaking on the phone to rebuild trust. Insiders claim Blake is slowly getting back into the fold after months of distance. But interestingly, she was completely missing from the Rhode Island gathering. The internet immediately noticed the hypocrisy. If they are truly fixing their friendship, why was Blake completely snubbed from the weekend festivities? It makes the entire Page 6 report look like a calculated public relations play. It feels like they are testing the waters to see how the public reacts to them being seen together again. And it is like everyone around Taylor is suddenly under a massive media lockdown. Her friends are straight up getting interrogated during unrelated press junkets. Jack Antonoff was recently caught completely off guard during a live interview. A reporter asked him if he was attending any massive weddings this summer. His reaction was a masterclass in absolute panic. He visibly froze and immediately tried to redirect the question to the interviewer's own marriage. It was incredibly awkward to watch. He clearly realized he was one sentence away from violating a massive non-disclosure agreement. He chose to look completely unhinged on camera rather than risk spilling any actual details. This is definitely not a private Tom and Zendaya situation. Those two managed to keep their entire marriage hidden until an insider dropped a casual hint months later. They never acknowledged the rumors on social media. They just showed up to a red carpet with a ring and moved on. Taylor operates on a completely different level of public consumption. She actively posts engagement updates directly to her main grid. She wants the public to look, but she wants to dictate exactly what they see. The entire Madison Square Garden plan actually fits her corporate mindset perfectly. It is an absolute fortress. The venue has deep underground tunnels specifically built for high-profile celebrities. It is physically impossible for drone photographers to get an angle inside. They can easily smuggle hundreds of Hollywood elites through private entrances without a single photo leaking. It allows her team to control the visual narrative entirely. They can edit the official photos in their own time and release them when the algorithm demands it. The entire event is no longer a private milestone. It is bordering on a heavily orchestrated piece of performance art. We are all just waiting for the highly curated Instagram dump. Her publicist, Tree Paine, is likely reviewing the captions as we speak. The entire situation leaves a pretty sour taste when you realize how much corporate strategy goes into a personal life event. It forces you to look at these massive celebrity relationships with a lot of skepticism. Is it a genuine union, or is it just the ultimate high-visibility branding exercise? The line between reality and public relations has completely disappeared. How long can a pop star maintain a relationship when every single step requires a literal media lockdown strategy? Drop your theories in the comments below on who gets cut from the seating chart next. Goodbye.